Hello and welcome to the Black Contractors Network. I know you're probably thinking, well, I'm not even a contractor. Well, guess what? You can still get involved with what we're doing here at the Black Contractors Network. We're all about breaking down those barriers between different groups in society and making sure everyone has an equal shot at success in life. Let's talk about it, people. Is retirement still achievable in America? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you.
Bad news, everyone.
But American retirement is officially no longer a dream. The numbers don't lie. People do. Social Security will be insolvent by 2035, and over half of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. These realities make it clear that we need to take a different approach if we want to retire comfortably in America today. And that's what this episode is all about. The American dream is a concept that has been around for centuries. It's the idea that if you work hard and play by the rules,
work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work.
you can succeed in America. Of course, this idea isn't unique to the United States. It was imported from Europe with settlers who came over after World War II. The American dream has changed over time and varies depending on who you ask. But there are some key components: faith in God, freedom from tyranny, prosperity through hard work, at least for some, and an emphasis on family values. The emphasis on family values is probably one of the most important parts of what makes up the American dream, because it demonstrates how important community is to us as Americans.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Retirement is something that most Americans take for granted. In a bygone era, people worked until they died, and retirement was not an option for most. At some point in the 20th century, this all changed, and the idea of a retirement became ingrained in American culture. It has been so ingrained, in fact, that around 2/3 of Americans retire by the age of 65. There are more than 40 million retirees in America today, and 80% of them are over the age of 65. A recent survey asked non-retired Americans how old they expect to be when they retire, and about half said that they expect to retire at 65. Unfortunately for them, this may not be possible at this time because there are many factors working against retirees right now.
In bird culture, this is considered a dick move.
The new normal is that you will have to work longer. The new normal is that you will have to save more. The new normal is that you will have to make sacrifices, like moving from the city where your friends and family are, in order to find better employment opportunities and lower housing costs.
I work the graveyard shift.
The new normal is also making difficult decisions, whether it's cutting back on luxuries like vacation or nights out at the restaurant, whether it's choosing between paying off credit card debt or building an emergency fund, whether it's continuing working an unfulfilling job because there aren't any other options out there for you, or quitting and taking a significant pay cut by going back into school for training purposes with hopes of landing a better paying position later on down the road. These all may seem like small choices now, but they'll add up over time and could potentially lead even further away from retirement than if they hadn't been made.
Why isn't this working?
Social Security is not a retirement plan. Social Security isn't meant to be your sole source of income in retirement, but it can help you stay afloat if you don't have another means to support yourself. That said, Social Security is not intended as a savings plan or pension. It's a safety net. You're allowed to earn up to $17,640 each year in 2019 without having your benefits reduced, and there are no penalties for working while receiving benefits once you reach full retirement age, which depends on when you were born. Don't confuse Social Security with other types of pensions or 401k plans. It's important to note that the retirement crisis is not due to a lack of planning or desire on the part of Americans. The truth is, we are simply living longer than ever before, and medical advancements have made it possible for us to live full lives well into our 90s.
Medical emergency!
But while advances in medicine have improved our longevity, they have also contributed to some other factors that are taking a toll on retirement savings. In particular, people are living longer with chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and Alzheimer's disease, all of which require more medical treatment and management over time. This means higher out-of-pocket costs for many retirees as they grow older and face more frequent hospitalizations or trips to their physician's office. Life expectancy is increasing, but it's not necessarily because we're living longer. The average life expectancy now is 79 years old, but that number is based on the current age distribution of the population. Life expectancy changes as people move through their lives and as medical advances improve. As an example, if you're currently 65 years old and in good health, your expected lifespan is about 20 more years, and if you're not in good health at 65, well, or if someone was born today, then they could expect to live until they were almost 80, a full 7 years longer than their parents' generation. Of course, there are some caveats here. We've seen significant improvements in medicine over this time period. These improvements have been primarily focused on treatments for cardiovascular disease and cancer, two major causes of death among older adults who suffer from these diseases. Many other factors such as diet play an important role in determining longevity, which is why I'm doing the keto diet right now. Increased cost of living. You may not have noticed the increase in your cost of living, but it's likely that it has increased significantly since 2000. The cost of food, healthcare, and housing has increased by 25% since then. In some areas like education, costs have increased more than 50%, and utilities have increased more than 100%. Personal debt. The average American owes $8,500 in credit card debt. Student loans make up another $1.5 trillion of outstanding debt, and the average student graduates with $26,600 in student loan debt. Mortgage debt averaged at about $180,000 for homeowners aged 55 to 64. Add car loans into this mix as well, an average of nearly $45,000 per borrower.
'Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back yet. Credit card debt.
What to do? There are a variety of ways to make it work. Here are some options to consider. Work longer. If you're not ready to retire at 65, then you can keep working for a few more years. For example, if you don't need the money and enjoy what you do, there's no reason not to continue working until your 70s or even beyond that age. If this isn't an option for you, then consider finding part-time work instead of full-time employment so that it's still manageable with your schedule while also allowing more time off than normal workers would receive when they retire early due to health reasons or other factors beyond their control, such as needing additional caregiving. This way they'll still be able to enjoy themselves while earning extra income without sacrificing too much time away from family and friends just yet. You can save more money than ever before by reducing expenses such as entertainment costs like cable subscription, home maintenance costs like electric bills, grocery shopping bills. This includes eating out, clothing expenses, so that there will be plenty left over every month once everything else has been paid off first before making any withdrawals from savings accounts, which should happen automatically unless otherwise specified.
We are one step closer to paying bills.
You need to work longer if you want to afford retirement. It's pretty simple. If you want to retire, you need to work longer. You also need to save more, make more, and make better choices about how your money is invested. And if that isn't enough for you, take a look at the current market conditions. Do any of these sound like a good time to invest in stocks? There are plenty of other areas where individuals can improve their ability and prospects for retirement. Being smarter with their money and making better choices, being more responsible in general, being more disciplined with their finances, or even just having enough self-control not to spend every dime they earn on something superfluous and perhaps unnecessary.
I had to get my glasses, so now I'm smarter.
Retirement is still a possibility, but it is going to take some real hard work on your part. The good news is that there are many ways to save money and increase your income in order to make it happen. You just have to be willing to invest some time and effort into these strategies before they can pay off for you. Also, the reality is there are many people in the United States who don't want to retire, but they may have no other choice. This is because the cost of living and health care has gone up while wages have stagnated. Many Americans do not have enough money saved up for retirement and need to work longer anyways. This is why you can still retire in America if you are willing to take a different approach than most people do.
Wrap it up.
And remember that in the end, it's your own success or failure, so don't let anyone else bring you down. Please like and subscribe and share this episode with anyone who might benefit from it.